Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of African Youth Time Show. As always, I am Sangwa on the presentation. But before I proceed, allow me to welcome my co-host, Mr. Melwin Ibinga. Melwin, how are you?
I'm fine, Sangwa. How are you?
I am great as usual. Are you excited for tonight?
Yes, I'm excited. Tonight we have a guest.
Yeah, we have a very special guest.
Very special.
And the topic is very inspiring.
Yeah.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to tell you the guest of tonight. Tonight we are going to host Mr. Gakuba Abdul-Jabbar. Mr. Gakuba Abdul-Jabbar is a renowned sports journalist. He has very many years of experience in this field, in the commentary, in sports, and in journalism. And with him, we are going to be discussing a very inspiring topic, which is ways of success or keys to success for an African sports journalist. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give my co-host, Mr. Melwin, the space to elaborate more on who Mr. Gakuba Abdul-Jabbar is.
Thank you, dear Sangwa. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight our guest is called Mr. Gakuba Abdul-Jabbar, but professionally known or usually known as Romario. Mr. Abdul-Jabbar is a renowned sport journalist, a commentator, and a sport analyst with over than 20 years of experience in the media industry. He is widely respected for his football expertise, professionalism, but also multilingual abilities. His journey started in 2004 at Flash FM, and before working with several prestigious media organizations such as Contact FM, Azam TV, and currently pursuing his career at Isango Star TV as a sport reporter. Thanks to his insightful analysis and passion for sport, he has been in several years working as a sport expert for the Swahili service of the BBC, and is fluent in how many languages can you guess? Not one, not two, but 5 languages. Kinyarwanda, Kiswahili, English, French, and Luganda. Romario has built a remarkable career that has made him one of the East Africa's most respected sport journalists and inspiring role for young Africans. Tonight he is with us. He joined us to tell us his journey, challenges, but also experience. Mr. Gakuba Abdul-Jabbar, welcome on Africa Youth Time TV show. How are you doing today?
Thank you, I'm doing well. It's my pleasure to join you in this show.
But how do you feel when a person is describing you and your journey? How does that make you feel?
It's the long bibliography.
Well, as you know, it's a little bit amazing, and I feel really pleased when somebody is talking about my biography. To me, to even give me more courage to work even harder to reach big audiences.
Indeed.
That's why I would say that it's a pleasure joining you guys in this show, which I know that hundreds of people are watching it across Africa.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm going to start my area of discussion on your childhood. We want to know more on what made you who you are, what shaped your love for sports, what encouraged you to pursue sports and journalism as a career.
First of all, I will say, since I was a little kid at 10 years of age, that's when I watched the first football game. That was back in 1984. My dad used to take me to stadiums, attend games, so I would say that I started developing the love for sports itself in particular at a very young age because of my father. He was a very good football fan, having also played football in school, you know, not any club levels, but also as a student. So he loved sports, particularly he had a team he was a fan of. So he used to take me to stadiums when I was a little kid. So I started developing, you know, the love for sports, particularly football, because my dad was a staunch supporter of one of the biggest clubs here in Rwanda. So he used to take me not only for that particular club games, but also other teams. So I developed the love since I was a little kid at the age of 10.
So that's how you developed your passion.
Yeah, I developed the passion simply because my dad was also a very passionate sportsman, taking me to different stadiums. By the way, he used even to attend some training sessions or some clubs here in Kigali and in the southern region of Rwanda. So I will say my dad pushed me so much when I was a little kid to get into sports.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you, Papa Abdul Jabbar.
Yeah.
Thank you to him.
Right, thank you.
So you're inspired.
Yeah, of course.
Do you love sports yourself?
Yes, of course I love sport. I'm a man.
Yep.
But not all men love sports, you know?
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell us more about the thing that really stimulated this career path that you took, apart from the fact that you know, your father loved it, and apart from the things that you just said, what really stimulated this love for the journalism, the career that you have right now?
First of all, I will say I used to listen to commentary of football games on Radio Rwanda. That was back in 80s. There was some very good sports journalists. One was Viateur Karinda. He was very good. The way he was flowing, you know, mastering all the names, not only that, but also giving you the facts of the game. You know, when somebody is doing commentary of football, we don't have to say, you know, Sangwa has the ball, gives to Melvin. No, but what about Sangwa? He could tell you exactly who this man is. For example, he scored a goal. When did he last score the goal? How many goals inside the box has he scored? So he had all this back in the 80s, you know. He had everything. You could hear the way he was flowing with good vocals. So I started, you know, loving that guy. There was also another one who was a Swahili commentator on Radio Rwanda. The way he used, you know, to do it, interchanging with his colleague Karinda, was simply amazing. But I would say that I myself, as a little kid, I used to play football, as any other kid at a young age. But particularly, I would say, how did I develop the love, the really passion to be a sports journalist? I remember when I was still a student at the National University of Rwanda, I used sometimes to get a newspaper like New Times, right? I all wanted to be a journalist, not only a sports journalist, but also, you know, a news presenter, which I've also done in my career for the past few years. I could get a newspaper and then pretend like, you know, I'm presenting news on TV.
Yeah, I see.
I could lock myself in the room, start presenting the news, and I also got the opportunity when we used to have some inter-faculty competitions. So I used to get a mic, do the commentary in French, English, and Kinyarwanda. And my colleagues, the guys in a university, you know, used to like it. I used to do it free of charge until when, you know, the rector realized, you know, this guy has the passion for sports, and he has not to do it for free, you know. So they started even paying me. But I would say there's a guy who was a student in journalism. He had me, you know, broadcasting, doing the commentary in all these languages. He said, you know what? You have the talent. The man is called Musanga Watware Clement. He was also a journalist. Later I joined some political parties while he was into politics. But he's the one who inspired me most. He said, you know what? Even though you are studying law, but I see you as a very good journalist in the future. So he kept on inspiring me. And when I started in 2004 at Flash FM, I started as an English news anchor. By then I had no opportunity to do sports because there was another guy who was presenting sports. And you know, I used to like it, but I could not join because the team was just just only 2 people. But when I joined Contact FM, after being hired by Contact FM, there was an opportunity where Rwanda had to be represented in the African in Champions League. That was back in 2005.
Okay.
I remember my first game was on 30th January 2005 when Rayon Sport was in Kinshasa playing against Motema Pembe. I had been recruited by Contact FM a few months earlier before, and the chief editor said, you know what, we have a game. Rwanda is being represented by Rayon Sport. So by then, the Rwanda television had no reporter in Kinshasa. Radio Rwanda had no reporter in Kinshasa. So there was an opportunity for Contact FM to broadcast the game, which was, you know, it made it more famous. So they told me, can you try this? I said yes. I was in English news department, but they say, we want to give you a go so that you can broadcast this game. I said, okay. I went somewhere downtown here in Kigali and had to sit, watch the game. I prepared myself. I told them, give me the time, give me the airtime just 20 minutes before to prepare myself, to tell people about the game, about the background of the teams, you know, the facts, the current situation, the new, the injury news, the form, you know, what about these coaches, you know, the probable lineup, just, you know, bring all that information before the game starts. So, and I could do it in English, French, and Kinyarwanda for all the people to know exactly about the game that will be taking place in Stade Martyr in Kinshasa. So, my first game was an international game on 30th January 2005. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's very inspiring, by the way.
So you are still doing what you loved when you were young, actually. This is what you made a job of.
Absolutely. I would say I love doing commentary. I love when, you know, I'm raising my vocals when the goal is being scored, particularly when the build-up has been good, it's been actually inspiring. You know, when we have good players, when when the stadium is fully it's full at its capacity, there's a big crowd, people are cheering, and the goal is beautiful. So for a commentator, that's the key moment. The key moment when you have to raise your vocals, when you have to describe the player, when you describe the goal that has been scored, and you have to start from the build-up.
Okay. So that was about your childhood. When you were responding to the question that Dear Sangwa asked, you say that you have been doing law in university, and this leads us actually to the next point of that session. We are going to discuss about your university and school life. So, since we know already that you have done law, how did the study of law prepare you to become the sport journalist that you are today?
Thank you. It's a very good question. Even though I was doing law, the people around me used to see me as a very passionate journalist who could be very successful in a career. So I myself, I really liked what I was doing. Right from the university, as I said before, I was sometimes given the opportunity to do the commentary during the inter-faculty competitions when I was not, playing, because I used to be a player also, to play for my faculty. So for example, if management faculty is playing against medicine, I used to do the commentary. So that's when the love started. That's when, it became even much, how would I say, stronger. So since then, people kept telling me, you know what, you were very good
at what you do.
So I also, pushed myself to even work even harder to be more successful.
So what we can get actually in it is that you are doing law, but like, if I can say, somehow you were not actually caring about law, you were more focused on your journalist side.
I would say that is exactly the point, especially when I was done with studies. I really focused so much on my passion, which was journalism, particularly sports, and also news presenting. And that's what I've been doing for the past 23 years.
So at that time, it was more of a hobby.
No?
No,
No,
the sports,
commenting.
the commentatory thing was more of a hobby,
Yes.
something that you do, for fun, for the fun of
When
it.
I was still at school.
Yes, when you were still at school.
Yeah, it was just for fun. It was just for fun, but not only for fun. That's actually, I would say, when I really felt I need to do this.
So
Yeah.
it means since the university you knew that you were going to become a journalist, or you were actually expecting maybe a career in law?
I may say, given what I had achieved in the university, what I was doing there, and given the encouragement of my people around, even some family members, I said, let me go for it.
They could see that you're going to be great at that more than the law.
And as I say, there's a colleague, a friend of mine. He was into journalism. He was in the School of Journalism at the National University. He told me, you know what? The way I see you, as somebody who is doing journalism, you can be a very good and successful sports journalist.
That is amazing.
But there's something I would say I'm missing. I used to present news in English and also Kiswahili. I don't know whether I will get that opportunity again, but I can still do both.
Okay. So before going to the main topic, I would like, can you give us a short demonstration on how you can comment on a match? Maybe let's say that Rwanda is leading Gabon like 2-0. Like, how can you comment on that? Like short comment on it. Can you do it?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amaro Stadium for the World Cup qualifier between Rwanda that we're taking on Gabon. It's one of the biggest nations in football, well known in Africa, and Rwanda is currently just 2 points to qualify. Can Rwanda qualify to the next round? That is the World Cup, the maiden qualification to the World Cup. Here is Jimmy Gatete with the ball, passing to the number 8, and this is Olivier. Olivier crosses the ball back to Gatete. Gatete with a header. Goal! Well, that's Rwanda qualifying for the first time, Those are the players who had, respected players in Rwandan football. Especially, I would say Gatete. Gatete played a very big role in qualifying Rwanda for the first time in African Cup of Nations in 2004. So that's why I had to bring back the memories.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
This time not for the African Cup of Nations, but for the World Cup. Yes.
Sure. So let's now start our main aspect of tonight, the main topic, ways of success, as an African sports journalist.
Yes.
So my first question for you will be, what are the key essential things that a person who wants to pursue your career, or someone who wants to pursue a career in sports and journalism, must take to be as great as a person like you?
First of all, you need to have the love for what you're doing. There are some journalists who have not been successful because they didn't have the passion. They just maybe doing it to earn a living, but they're not passionate. So if you're not passionate about what you're doing, then you cannot be successful. You need to develop that love for, have to have the passion for the job you're doing, that is journalism, in order to be successful. Without passion, you can't be successful. As I'm giving an example, there are so many journalists who have actually not succeeded simply because they do it. They want to earn a living, you understand? But they're not giving too much to show that they are really passionate to deliver the best. That's the difference between somebody who is doing it just to earn a living, but with somebody who is very passionate about what he is doing.
True, that's
so
very true.
What he is going to give to the audience will be definitely different from what the other guy is going to give. So I would say that's one. Secondly, you must have communication skills. Or you must be good in languages, I would say. If you're going, for example, to interview the president of the federation, and he speaks Kinyarwanda. You might be a Rwandan, but you're not good at that. You're not fluent in Kinyarwanda. You're not confident with what you're doing. So you must be having skills in communication to be able to express yourself. That's one. Secondly, you need to do a good research about what you're going to do, the topic you're going to discuss. You must be aware of what you're going to discuss, to have the key facts, knowing the interviewer, the interviewee you're going to do, who is this person? Because he might be challenging you when you actually look like you don't even know him. So you must know the person you're going to interview, all about him, but also make a good research about the topic you're going to be discussing. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to give your audience. So if you're not good with communication skills, it's going to be very hard for you.
Indeed.
Another thing is you need to avoid corruption.
In what way? What kind of corruption?
Corruption? What do I mean? Some people want to do stories to please,
Certain people.
certain people. You've been given a brown envelope, we call it a brown envelope. That brown envelope, you want to praise someone simply because this person gave you money. But in the end of the day, you have done something wrong simply because you're praising this person, but maybe this person has done something wrong in the society. You don't want to mention about this, so that brings that kind of bias. You're going to be biased simply because you've been given money. So a good journalist must avoid corruption, must avoid bribery, because if you take money from from the community, from it's going to you cannot be successful in a career.
You might be successful for a short time, but in the long run might not stay there.
I would rather take little money, because I believe, for me, my biggest boss, my first boss, is the audience. The audience, the people are very clever. They're going to know and analyze the kind of story you're bringing forward.
And they're not dumb.
Yes, they will know this guy is biased.
Yes,
You're praising someone who has been a criminal, for example, somebody who has been doing wrong things in the society. You are describing him as somebody who is a very important person in the society, in the community, yet simply because you've taken money. Whatever you pass is going to tarnish your image. So you need to avoid all that to be able to balance, make sure that your stories are balanced, and let the audience judge. But there are some stories you can do, and there's somebody who is listening or watching the television, we exactly know this person is in the wrong place.
True. So according to you, do you really think that passion is enough to take a person in the further way, as in take them to that career of journalism? You said that you need to be passionate about it, right? So do you think that passion is enough for a person to have that career in journalism?
No, passion isn't enough. You must have knowledge. What do I mean? Knowledge is how I'm relating it to the passion. For example, if you want to be successful, you need to do more research, be able to analyze what you're going to do in order to be able to give the audience the stories that actually are going to benefit the society. Because in the end of the day, we are working for the society, we're working for our communities. How do we play a role in developing our societies, the communities, in different aspects of life? So you need to have the knowledge about, if it's, for example, a tournament. certain tournament that is going to take place. For example, Rwanda will be hosting Sekafa Kagame Cup in the next month, right? You need to know about Sekafa. You need to know the background. You need to know the teams that have actually been successful in Sekafa. So there is no way you can be, you can be successful when you don't have enough knowledge about what you're going to do. I've given an example of Sekafa, for example. You can't just come to the studio. You can go to the radio station and start talking about things which people can easily tell that you don't master. That is why I'm saying that you must have knowledge about what you are doing in order to give the audience exactly what they need to.
What they need to hear.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. So what do you think that of being versatile and adaptable is enough or is important for someone who is trying to pursue your career or a career in journalism as a whole?
I would say, first of all, there are some friends of mine, especially the young journalists who are actually coming up. They can easily tell that I'm passionate. That's one. That's the most important thing. Another thing is that I do take enough time to do the research. Because if you have a topic to discuss, you better do enough research. You must have facts. Finding is very, very important. Because if you're going to deliver a certain news story, when you hear out a news story, you don't have facts, then it's not going to attract the audience now. You must have facts, so that even if it could be a little bit controversial, but that controversy, what facts do you have to support you?
To support your points.
Absolutely, to support your points. There's some journalists, you can go on there, say, utter out something, but they don't have the key facts to support what they are talking about. Then they will say this person is not good enough. You're not good enough. So a good journalist must have the facts, must have a story that is balanced for the audience to realize that you're not biased. So to me, before I do any story, I always have facts. And I would rather not do the story when I don't have enough facts. No. Even if it's been a breaking news, right? Sometimes we journalists, we rush for breaking news, which is very good, absolutely, for the audience to know what comes first, the best stories. But you might bring a story which is nowhere researched. You understand? For example, I will give an example where sometimes I do listen to radio stations or I watch a TV sports program and I get a story, but in the end you realize there's something missing. You understand? So it's up to you to realize, you as a journalist, what's exactly missing in this story to make it more interesting. Do the research. There's someone they should have interviewed. You understand? So after that, you can even get more sources. So get more sources to bring that fact, into the story to make it even more interesting. That's how a good journalist should actually be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I didn't really get on the point of being the adaptability part. Why do you think that it's important for a person who wants to pursue this career as a journalist, but especially a sports journalism? Why do you think it's important for them to be adaptable and versatile?
To be adaptable.
To adapt themselves in different situations.
Yes, in different situations.
Yeah. Sometimes this career is a little bit tricky. It's a bit. There are certain challenges that they have to understand before they join this career or they start this career, that they need to know how to adapt to. For example, you're going to interview someone about a certain story, but this person is not open enough. You understand? He's not open enough to give you exactly what you need. It's up to you to know how am I going to trace the questions to get the right exactly the answer I want. So it's a bit tricky, especially for young journalists to know that sometimes lack of confidence, for example, when you're lacking confidence, you can't go in front of a big personality for certain interview. Sometimes they even intimidate you the way they answer you. If you're not confident enough and knowing exactly how I'm going to twist my questions to get exactly what I want for the audience, it's going to be very difficult for you. So the young journalists who are coming into the career must always know that if they are going to be adaptable to this career.
Yeah. So us also we have to be adaptable. This is what we can get already.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
This is your chance also to start with us.
Yeah, teaching us right now.
Yeah, let me tell you guys. Sometimes there are certain questions you ask, and the interviewee or that personality you're talking about, you're asking, is not going to, to release whatever he has. Why? He might be trapped. You understand? It's going to put him in trouble. You get the point?
Interesting.
So it's up to you to know exactly how am I going to twist the question. You understand? To know, to get exactly what I want from
him.
Yes. So a good journalist must actually have that in mind. Must have those tricks, the different ways of asking, because sometimes they answer you like this, and you say, okay, but it's not concrete.
Yes.
It's not really.
It's not giving.
It's not giving. You understand? So it's not going to the audience is not. It seems this guy is poor in asking questions. So those interviewing skills are very, very important when you're going for a story.
Okay. Alwin?
Yeah, so we are going to proceed on the challenges part.
Yeah.
The first question will be like, what have been the most challenges that you have faced in your career as a journalist, as a sport journalist?
As I will say, as a sport journalist, I actually have faced quite a lot of challenges, which are financial.
Okay.
Sometimes you're working for stations which are not paying on the right time when you have families. To some extent, it even drives you to bribery, to corruption. But as my personality, I do. The most important thing in this career, especially to me, is my personality. However much you can give me, there is nothing worth my personality. I will give an example. There's a certain team. It was an international game. They sent someone among these clubs here in Kigali. They're going to play their own sport. And by then I was still working for Azam TV. And we were the broadcasters of the league. So they wanted 5 games. They passed the videos for the past 5 games that the Sport played in the league. Not highlights, full games. So somebody who came as an advanced party had to contact someone among these clubs in Kigali. So this guy had my contact. They called me. Hey, Romario, I need to talk to you. I said, yes. I have some very good deal. Where exactly? I told them I'm at the office. They came to the office. I found them in the car. They said, we want 5 games, the past recent games of Real Sport. We're going to give you 1,500 USD. I know, I looked at the guy, come on. So you see me as somebody who is very easy to bribe, somebody who can be corrupt easily, and betray my country, because Rayon Sport was representing Rwanda. You're getting the point. So you want me to take money and betray my country. That guy could not believe that he could refuse $1,500
At that time.
at that time. He said we're going to add 1,000. I said over my dead body. There is nothing worth my country. I told him, no way. He said we're going to add more. That is making it 3,500. Come on. I said even if you bring $1 million, I won't take that money. This is about the country. But I told the guy, you know what? What I will do is just keep a secret. But I'm very much disappointed in you.
In you, yeah.
If you want to be successful as a journalist, avoid corruption. So, as a challenge, some of the journalists are easily corrupted. Simply because they take long without getting their money, their salaries, their allowances. Eventually, you might be tempted to take that.
True.
But I will say, if there is any journalist who is actually watching this show, there is nothing worth your personality. Nothing. Because this guy who's giving you the money will tarnish your image by telling that, Romario is very easy. Just give him 100 USD and we'll take the money. That's the point.
As a matter of fact, when the consequences come, they will just reach you, but not them.
Absolutely. First of all, that will be betraying my country, which is by now will not be, I'll be in jail. Not, enjoying, having a good time with my family. My kids, who would be looking after my kids? You're given money, fine, but you don't know what are the consequences. That's one. Secondly, another challenge is working for radio stations or TV stations whereby the managers or the owners of these stations do not actually, care about what is being aired out. Yeah, you find somebody just they are generating money, they are making a lot of money, but you don't know what content that is on your stations. How is this the content? Who prepared this content? What exactly are they going to give up, to the audience? You just want to make a lot of money. Sometimes in wrong ways, I would say. A journalist says something that is awful, but you don't even take time to know this person is damaging the image of
your country,
station.
The station.
So the station. So it's something that I found quite challenging, and also working around the people around you. You are not on the same page to prepare the show, I would say. There's something that I always give value. When we have a team of 2 or 3 people, you need to take time to prepare your show. Sometimes you go to the show and you find yourself, having some facts not shared with others. At the end of the day, you're confusing the audience.
Yes.
So it's one of the challenges that I've actually been facing over the past 22 years, which I would say to some extent, some of these challenges are caused by the owners of the media houses themselves. So it is high time that the owners of the media houses need to take time to address the challenges if they are going to be more successful and to deliver what exactly the audience want.
You see through what the audience want by, observing what their employees are doing, and what they're providing to the society.
Yeah.
So, since you're a commentator, and most of the time you're acting during, real-time show, real-time event, do you sometimes even feel pressure? Or someone with 22 years of experience doesn't feel pressure? And also, how do you do to handle pressure when you're already in the commentary phases?
First of all, what can cause you pressure is when you're not ready, when you're not well prepared for the game. Well, I believe before you do, if you go to the commentary box, you must know exactly the teams that are playing. First of all, what are their positions? What are they fighting for? You must know the players, the key players. Now, what exactly about these players? For the audience to know, now, for example, Gabon has Aubameyang. He's been playing in Marseille. How many goals has he scored? How dangerous is going to be against our team? You understand? What are the key facts? I mean, what are the strength of the opponent? You understand? Make some critical analysis. You need to do a good research to have good facts before you start. It might be challenging when you go on air a bit late. When you go on air a bit late, you have, you are not going to give exactly what the audience want.
Because you're stressed.
Yeah, you are stressed. You know, you're not ready in your commentary box. You don't have enough facts or whatever. But as a good commentator, you must be ready with all the research you've made, so that maybe due to the technical team you have not gone on time, but at least you have enough. You are equipped. So that's what I think that can give you more pressure. But for somebody who has been in this career for the past 20 years, I don't think I have too much pressure. It gives me, I'm a bit nervous when I go on air late. Because I want to go on air like 20 minutes before, 15 minutes before, tell the audience about the game, show them the strength of whatever. If I have an analyst, we start like 20 minutes before. He tells us the tactical approach of this team. What about the opponent? Those kind of things that the audience exactly wants. Don't go on there without having all that. You must have a pretty much analysis with people who really master the game.
So technically, be punctual, be on time, and at the same time, always be ready and prepared.
Yes.
That's really good advice.
Yes.
This is the secret for avoiding, pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question will be, what are the main, because in Africa, the journalism sector is not really developed as in any other country from Western country or European country. What are the main difficulties that are actually holding back sport journalism to actually, thrive in Africa?
Or even all over the world, just like the other sports are doing.
Yes. If you see the Western countries, I'll give an example of England, how the media works, and I compare it to these African media houses. You see there's actually a very big gap. Why? First of all, it comes to means financial power. That's one. The media houses here in Africa do not have enough financial power to reach even big audiences. That's one. Secondly, lack of enough knowledge to some of the African journalists. It's also a challenge why we can't reach bigger audiences. Another thing is corruption. Corruption. Hey, corruption is a very big issue.
Big driving force.
It's actually a very big driving force why most of the countries or the journalists have not been successful. Some of the stations are corrupt due to some governments. You'll be forced to be biased because you're driven by that government which is actually giving you whatever. There's no way you are going to do a story against what those governments want. You understand? Simply because They give you everything.
Actually, the thing you are saying is very true.
Very true.
Because there was this one time, I don't want to say the news station that I watched this on, but I decided I was never going to see the news on that station again because it was very odd, you know. It was in those political times. I don't want to dive in deeper into the politics, you know, but it was very political. But these people were twisting the situation in a very, very, very
Funny way.
no, it's not even funny because it was really, really wrong. You are treating people as if they're idiots. You know, you are treating the people who are watching you as if we are idiots. We can see what is going on, even though we're watching the news. We also know what's going on because it's affecting us, the society as a whole. So you taking sides and then acting like we don't know what's happening and then treating us as idiots, it really angered me in a way that I don't I can't explain.
They're trying to dictate
So
what
yeah,
you think.
yes, they're trying to. Yeah, it shows you that sometimes the media has so much power into what people think and believe. That's why I support this point that you have been making about the corruption.
I'll give you another example. There's a session that I worked for. I was a news editor. And then some people came to us complaining they wanted some place in a certain market around here, Kigali. Then the owner of that market had given those premises to other people. Yet this lady had really, gotten the money from others. So it was actually an interesting story. They complained, they came to us, then they met me, we discussed about the issue in the newsroom. We found it so interesting. So we discussed how the story is going to be done. I sent a reporter to go and meet, the victim. I meet the person who is being talked about, the one who gave, the promises to others. After having an interview with this lady, everything was fine. She came, had to write the script, everything, the clips for the victims and this lady. Then this story was actually the first story. Then 20 minutes before the news bulletin, I was called in the office by the boss. He told me, you know what? Anything to do with the interests of our customers to be, the story will not be aired. But I said, sir, the story is, is balanced. We have both sides. We discussed about it. There's nothing wrong about it. So this lady, as I see corruption is something wrong, I had really given money to the reporter. You're getting a point. So the story could be cancelled. Then he called me and said, you know what? The story won't be added. They convinced the boss, telling him, this lady has a lot of money. She will be our customer. So the man was convinced. I was forced not to air the story. I told the presenter the story won't be aired. In my mind, I decided to resign. You understand? I resigned. How? I just waited for my money, my salary. Then after getting my salary, I was already in contact with some other station that was about to open. Then after getting my salary, I brought my resignation letter. I put it on the table to the boss. He said, what? He said, I'm resigning. Why? You're not working for the people. You're working for your own interest. That's one. Especially, you hired me as a news editor. If you hired me, then trust me. I didn't go against your editorial line. Why did you do that? He said, you know what? I said, I'm resigning. I categorically said I will not continue with you. I resigned. So to me, as I say, there is nothing worth my personality. Yes.
Coming back on that, there is nothing worth your personality. Mr. Abdul Jabbar, we have seen that you are actually someone who stands on his point, who stands on his opinion, convictions. Have you ever faced any situation or criticism about maybe your boss that you brought your resignation letter to? Like, have you ever faced any criticism that challenged your career?
There's some guys, some friends of mine we discussed about it. Said no, but you had to do exactly what the boss said, and you know you had to abide with what I say. Well, you want me to abide with the rules of somebody who is doing wrong, somebody who is not serving
The people.
the people? Then that's not me. They said, you know, you have to whatever the boss. They say I do, with due respect to him. But when it's something contrary to what we are serving, we are serving
The people.
the people. Then what is the role of a journalist? What are you doing? What are you helping to develop the country? Then nothing. You're in the wrong place. Yes.
You're even actually contributing to destroy the country.
Absolutely. You're contributing to destroying the country.
Indeed.
Because if this person would get, for example, go to the police to be asked about that, then even others won't do the same thing. They will not will take the money and then, you know, you understand what I mean?
I understand what you mean. So, Mr. Abdul Jabbar, before we close our session, I want you first to give advice for the African youth who are watching us right now.
Yes.
They want to be inspired. Like right now, I'm giving you the time to advise them. Okay? What would be your last words for the person, young or old? Because really, passions doesn't see the age, you know. So young or old, what is your last words to them? What is the message that you want to leave to them, especially these people who want to pursue a career in journalism, you know, people who love sports, but they're really more driven by this journalism career path. What do you want to tell them before we close our session?
First of all, have the passion. That's one. Secondly, avoid corruption. Thirdly, do enough research to give the audience good news, interesting news. And another thing, you must have a story with well-balanced facts. Let the audience judge. Do not be a judge. I'll give an example here. You want to be a journalist, sports reporter. You want to be a coach. You want to be in the like you want to be everything in this stuff. Avoid that. If you have a story, you're going to do a story. For example, it's Ghana that is playing against Brazil. Just an example. If you have an expert, a former player, invite him to the show. Invite the former coaches. Let them come, and because the way they are going to analyze and the way you want to do it yourself is absolutely different. So let the people who are, you know, in that field come on board, discuss and analyze. Not you yourself. Don't try to be a coach. Don't to be a manager. Let the people do exactly what they are supposed to do. You bring people on board, bring people to your studio to discuss and then analyze. Don't be yourself a journalist at the same time, a coach at the same time, a manager. That's what has been actually an issue. Yeah, some of the media stations.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Jabbar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you tonight. And I kind of feel like even though you talked more about sports and I'm not really in that field, you know, I kind of feel like even I and my co-host, we can testify that we have been inspired.
Of course.
Thank you.
I mean, this was an inspiring session for us and hopingly for the people who are watching us.
do not hesitate to invite me for a social affair thing, you know.
No problem.
As long as I have time to research, no problem.
There will be no problem
Yeah.
at all. So, yes, stay inspired, stay motivated, stay driven. Because as Mr. Abdul Jabbar said, passion is really important, but at the same time, if you're really passionate about it, then thrive to be good at it. You know, thrive to be amazing and excellent at what you're going to do or at your passion. Because liking something is really not enough if you really think about it. I like a lot of things, but am I really passionate about them? I doubt. You know, some people pursue a lot of passions, but even while pursuing them, they end up leaving the other ones behind because they never really loved it. So learn to distinguish what your likings are and what your real passions are. So thank you very much, Melwin.
Thank you, Sangwa.
Let us clap for Mr. Abdul Jabbar.
My pleasure.
It was amazing having you with us tonight. I hope that if we invite you again, you're going to come. You're going to be joining us because you're a very wise man.
Anytime.
By the way, you look dashing.
You look amazing.
Thank you very much.
dashing, looking
Thank you very
spectacular. We love it. So, yes, guys, it was really amazing to have this amazing human being here with us. I hope that you guys have been really inspired. Let us see each other again next Thursday, same hour, same place. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.